From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Wednesday morning. Right now you're taking a look at the clouds rolling in Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Also still tracking some light haze this morning. Looks like the bulk of it's actually situated on top of the basin into the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, but this will be skirting off towards the east a bit later in the day. So we will have good air quality, but again, the skies they're not going to be filled with clouds, but it will be partly cloudy. Right now temperatures are very mild for lower elevations, 59 in Yakima, and that's the coolest temperature. 70 for the Hanford site, 69 in the Tri-Cities and Hermiston. Obviously colder up in the mountains with 40s in the Cascades and 50s in the Blues. Winds are already starting to pick up. They're especially going to ramp up after 3 p.m. today, but already breezy in the Kittitas Valley and in portions of the lower Columbia Basin. Your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations, 70s and 80s by 11 a.m. and then also 70s and 80s at the peak of daytime heating. And you see the haze clearing out throughout the course of the day. Bottom line for the forecast, mostly normal highs through Sunday. Triple-digit heat possible at the beginning of next week, and the forecast staying mostly dry. But I'll touch on this second point especially coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, firefighters have made some major progress on the Barstow fire. This morning, containment is up, evacuation orders are lifted. We'll let you know what crews have planned next.
And a stolen e-bike, vacuums, and much more. Police say 2 suspects were caught red-handed with over $2,000 in stolen goods. What led officers straight to the culprits just ahead.
And reports of people shooting birds on the Yakima River causing concern. Deputies are saying it's all a part of a federally approved research project. We're going to let you know what they're studying and why it matters. That's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, June 25th, and we have a number of fires that we're keeping a close eye on this morning.
That's right, and we're starting off by following up on the Barstow fire out of Walla Walla County, where crews have made major progress, and firefighters wrapped up containment lines Tuesday, bringing that fire to 97% of containment. Crews spent the day yesterday mopping up hot spots within the fire's perimeter. With conditions improving, management of the fire will transition back to Walla Walla's North County Fire District. State mobilization crews will also begin heading home this morning. About 110 personnel were still on the scene as of Tuesday, but the fire burned just over 1,500 acres north of Prescott. Air quality remains good and all evacuation notices have been lifted. The fire started just after 5:30 p.m. Saturday and spread quickly, but thanks to a strong response, it's now largely under control. And continuing with our fire watch this morning, firefighters spent the afternoon battling a wildfire just north of Benton City. The blaze, now being called the Lob Fire, broke out along Rupert Road and burned about 2 acres before crews got it under control. At one point, additional support was requested due to nearby homes and farm animals being threatened, but that request was later canceled. As of now, fire crews remain on scene to ensure that all hotspots are fully extinguished.
And a vehicle fire along Interstate 84 near Tower Road sparked a grass fire Monday afternoon that prompted a multi-agency emergency response. Boardman fire rescue crews arriving just after 1 p.m. Take a look. There's video from the scene. That's what they found, a vehicle fully engulfed in flames in the center divide. That fire then spreading to the nearby grass. Firefighters quickly contained the grass fire while working to extinguish the burning car. Fortunately, everyone inside that car was able to make it out safely. No injuries were reported.
Now to a crime alert from the Kennewick Police Department. What started as a robbery call at Walgreens ended with 2 people in custody and many stolen items recovered from multiple stores. Police were called to the Walgreens on Clearwater Avenue yesterday morning after a suspect had run away. Officers set up a perimeter around the nearby Econo Lodge Motel, and a canine track led them to a blue van. That car matched description from a separate theft at the Target from the day before, where more than $2,000 worth of merchandise was stolen. Police identified the suspect as Seth Walliser and his accomplice as Jessica Usmanova. Both were taken into custody without incident, and a search warrant for the motel room and van turned up items from both crimes. That includes an e-bike, vacuums, and phone chargers. Both suspects are now booked in the Benton County Jail.
Well, the Benton County Sheriff's Office is addressing some community concerns following reports of unusual activity near Horn Rapids Park. Well, deputies responded to reports of people shooting waterfowl in the Yakima River. Well, when they got there, they contacted the group with the Yakima Nation, a group of biologists who are permitted to harvest migratory birds, specifically pelicans. They're doing it as a part of a research project. This team has all the required permits from the State Department of Fish and Wildlife, and federal officials have also confirmed that this activity is illegal. The research is a part of an effort to help protect the local salmon population. Biologists are expected to continue their work in the area for another couple of weeks.
And the city of Pasco is taking a closer look at fluoride in its drinking water. Council members recently voted to launch a study on the effects of removing fluoride, a move sparked by growing health concerns, particularly about children's development. Fluoride has been part of Pasco's water supply since 1998, but some officials now question its safety.
This was brought up 8 years ago prior to me being on council, and they were looking to remove it at that time as well. And so that's where we're at. So last night we discussed some social media and outreach campaign items, such as putting narratives and literature over on the utility bills. We're going to also be calling people, leaving messages. We're going to have a social media posting on Facebook next door. So we're going to get the information out there. There's also going to be a survey.
Councilman Perales also plans to host a public comment session and even go door to door over the next few months.
Well, the city of Yakima is working on a project meant to improve conditions for underserved communities. Just yesterday, the city started constructing some new water and wastewater systems in the northeast area of the city. Water and irrigation engineers say that the new system will be an improvement for residents and that these public services are essential. The project's going to cost over $2 million. Funding from that coming from a grant. Work in the south central area of Yakima will start in October, and the project is expected to be completed by February of next year.
The Port of Benton is making progress with its plans for a new intermodal facility in North Richland. And that facility, which will sit on about 500 acres of land, was recently acquired through a land swap with the city of Richland. It's centered around an existing rail loop, and this will help move things more efficiently between trucks and trains, helping support local industries and boosting the regional economy. However, port officials say it could be a big piece in bringing more businesses to the Tri-Cities.
And that's really the benefit, is having one of these key pieces to some of these customers. Could be a Walmart or a Target or anything that's looking to really build.
Construction isn't expected to begin until late next year or even 2027.
5:07, and this morning we are learning more about the decision from the Findlay School District on their approval for a 4-day school week that will start this fall.
Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable spoke to the superintendent of Findlay about the change and what led to the decision.
Facing a budget shortfall of $1 million, the Findlay School District is forced to make some tough cuts. The cut, however? Fridays. Students K through 12 will now attend school just 4 days a week.
We began to research it from other school districts that are doing it. We found that there would be a cost savings to move to a 4-day school week, and the idea was really welcomed by the community. It was welcomed by the school board and welcomed by our staff, and so we pursued it.
Shorter school weeks equals longer school days for students. Elementary school will be getting out about 25 minutes later than normal, and high school and middle school will be getting out about an hour later than usual. The district expects to find savings in several areas. This includes salaries of employees, substitute costs, utilities, transportation, and in the food and nutrition department.
So the exciting part about moving to a 4-day school calendar is students actually get more of an education. Our 6th graders to our 12th graders are going to have about 4,000 more hours of instruction because we're taking out the early release Wednesdays, and students are going to be in class until about 3:25 in the afternoon.
As for athletics and after-school activities, they are expected to run similarly to how they normally run on a 5-day week. While practices are expected to start slightly later, there will still be Friday games for sports such as football. Reporting for Apple Valley News Now, I'm Jake Gable.
And the waiver from the state of Washington was approved for 3 years, but the Findlay School District will begin to reevaluate how this change is going come the spring of the upcoming school year.
And we'll be sure to continue to follow this story and share updates as they come in. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, after nearly 4 weeks at large, the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office has shifted their focus in the manhunt for Travis Decker, and we'll have the latest developments on the search just ahead.
And giving you a live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. When we come back after the break, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, and he'll have your first alert forecast on this Wednesday morning. It's 10 minutes after 5.
It's the 3-degree guarantee from Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather and Legends Casino Hotel. When Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth gets the high within 3 degrees, $25 is put in the jackpot. If he misses, someone wins. From Legends Casino Hotel and Apple Valley News Now.
The 4th of July sale at Furniture Row is on now, and the savings are explosive. Shop and explore the largest selection of sofas and sectionals, dining groups and bar stools, bedroom sets, kids' beds, and mattresses, all at the lowest prices guaranteed. And best of all, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Score doorbusters before they're gone. Or get 60 months, no interest. The 4th of July sale on now at Furniture Row.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Power through your summer chores with less downtime and enjoy more playtime with Steel Battery.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Tonight, the U.S. moving warplanes and ships to the Middle East. President Trump's urgent warning as the Israel-Iran conflict worsens. Will the U.S. play a larger role? World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 newscast in America.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County. Interesting spread as we're in the mid-40s for Snoqualmie Pass, but mid-60s for places like Ellensburg and Vantage. In the Yakima Valley, upper 50s to low 60s, even some mid-60s, 64 in Toppenish. And some of us are around 70 in the lower Columbia Basin, 69 in the Tri-Cities, 68 up towards the Hanford site. And then for the Blue Foothills, all of us in the 60s, and we're tracking some 40s and 50s up in the Blue Mountains. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. I don't think you're going to need a coat throughout the course of the day, and maybe the lightest jacket possible for this morning, but the rest of the day will be t-shirt weather. So for today will be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means low 80s in the Kittitas Valley, mid 80s for the Yakima Valley and in the Blue Foothills of Walla Walla County, and then around 90 degrees in the lower Columbia Basin, places like the Tri-Cities and Hermiston. Like you just saw in those weather icons, it will be a little bit hazy, especially for this morning. Let's go ahead and show you that with Futurecast. Wildfire smoke. This is upper level smoke, by the way, and this is 8 this morning. You're going to see throughout the course of the day, in general, all of the smoke and the haze is going to drift off towards the east as we'll have winds. Some winds will come out of the north and west. Some winds will come out of the south and west, just kind of depending on the microclimate. But by 4 p.m., none of us really dealing with any haze. And the haze that we will have for this morning is going to end up being pretty light. We're not expecting any significant reductions to air quality, but we are expecting a significant uptick in our high temperatures. Very hot stuff for the beginning of next week. I'll tell you just how hot coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:14 now. And in continuing coverage, the search for Travis Decker has entered its 4th week.
The Kittitas County law enforcement officials say there is no certain evidence that the man accused of killing his 3 daughters is alive or even in the area.
Yeah, this just days after that memorial was held for Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton. Olivia Sullivan has the latest.
Still no sign of Travis Decker.
What are you going to do next? You're really stuck between a rock and a hard place, no question about it.
The Decker girls were found dead west of Leavenworth in Chelan County after they didn't return from a scheduled visit with their father. The search for him expanded into neighboring Kittitas County.
You really want to catch this guy, and it's got to be incredibly frustrating not to be able to do that, to not know where he is or what's happened to him.
Former King County Sheriff and King 5 law enforcement analyst John Urquhart says the decision by the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office to shift toward recovery mode was likely the right call.
When you're not getting tips, when the dogs can't find him, when the helicopters can't spot him, I think the logical conclusion is either he's dead or he's out of the area.
Investigators say Decker has mountain survival skills and advanced military training, but without concrete evidence, Urquhart says it's hard to keep sending crews into the wilderness.
I really feel for the 2 sheriffs. They're looking at the resources. They're looking at the money that this is costing. They're looking at what their budget is. But somebody's got to make that tough, hard decision, and I'm sure there's a lot of their officers and detectives out there that don't want to quit. They want to keep looking for this guy, but
without any sign of Decker, there may be no alternative.
This case is going to haunt some of these detectives for a long time, whether they catch him or not.
Now, on Monday, the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office said their top priority remains bringing Travis Decker to justice.
And they're asking residents to continue to stay alert, reminding the public that even small details or something that seems out of place could lead to a major breakthrough.
It's a story, of course, we're following closely. We'll keep you updated on. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth and your first alert forecast, giving you that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. It is 6:17. We'll be right back.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Get ready for a night of non-stop fun with Tommy James and the Shondells. Saturday, October 4th, Legends Casino Hotel. A lifetime of hits with the legendary Tommy James and the Shondells. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Saturday, October 4th, Legends Casino Hotel.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Get the freedom to save and 3.9% financing for 60 months on all 2025 Silverado 2500 pickups. See your community Chevy dealers.
Got a family reunion in the works? Make it unforgettable at Beaver Valley Lodge. With cozy rooms, beautiful mountain views, and plenty of space to gather, it's the perfect place to reconnect and make new memories. Book direct with us and get 10% off. That means more savings for barbecues, bonfires, and all those late-night laughs. So skip the middleman and book direct today, because great reunions start with the perfect place to stay. Beaver Valley Lodge. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222. Register today. Last chance. 165 team registration ends midnight Monday, June 30th.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a partly cloudy day out there. We'll also have some light haze for this morning. I think by the afternoon it'll mostly be cleared out of here and could have a few thunderstorms in the Blues or up in the Palouse, but the rest of us should be dry. High temperatures cooler compared to yesterday, but still about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 80s and 90s for lower elevations, 60s for the Cascades, 60s and 70s in the Blues. Okay, it will be windy or breezy to start off this morning, but the wind's going to especially ramp up after 3 p.m. It's going to be windy in Lexington, Heppner, and especially in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts there between 35 to 40 miles per hour. For the rest of us, we'll just have some breezy weather. And then for tonight, partly cloudy skies, could have a few showers left over in the Blue Mountains, also maybe additional showers up in the Cascades, but in between the mountain ranges, we'll keep the forecast dry. Overnight lows mild, maybe not as mild as what we're seeing for this morning, but still 50s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades and 40s and 50s in the Blues. Winds come back for tomorrow, and it's going to be the same deal. It might be breezy or windy to start off the day, but especially as we head into the afternoon and evening, specifically after 2 p.m., that's when we're going to see the worst of the worst in terms of the winds, and it's going to be windy once again for Lexington, Heppner, and there in Ellensburg in the Kittitas Valley. The rest of us are going to see breezy conditions at the least. Okay. Winds picking up today because of a cold front that's going to drop down our high temperatures to more seasonal stuff into Thursday, Friday. We'll throw Saturday into that as well. Sunday going to be the transitional day, and now triple digits for Monday and Tuesday. Now this is still 6 to 7 days out. This is subject to change, but early indications are that we could have our second heat wave of 2025. Unfortunately, not much rainfall in the forecast to dry us off. Little mountain shower chances through Friday, and then completely dry for Saturday and beyond. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Cooling off for Thursday through Saturday, the transitional day on Sunday, then highs near 100 degrees for Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, 80s through Saturday, low 90s on Sunday, then flirting with triple digits to start next week. In Ellensburg, windy through Friday, calmer winds, but hotter highs for Saturday through Tuesday, especially on Monday. In Hermiston, highs in the mid to upper 80s through Saturday, mid 90s on Sunday, then around 100 for Monday and Tuesday. Then in Walla Walla, certainly very warm through Saturday, hot for Sunday, then into heat wave territory at the start of next week.
Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in your entertainment news, a Washington convention got a little too hands-on for one Netflix star, and Hollywood has lost a legend. Those headlines and more coming up next.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social.
We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
This summer, Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos is heating things up with incredible savings on every piano in our showroom. Take advantage of special bundles on our digital models. Enjoy savings on both new and used options. Get up to $10,000 off on select grand pianos. Enjoy 0% financing for 12 months, and every purchase includes free delivery in Tri-Cities. The hottest part, our 2-day summer sale event happens June 26th and 27th only. Turn up the heat and visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos today.
Most people who have lived through an opioid overdose have something in common. They didn't do it alone. Someone was there when they OD'd. Someone had naloxone. Someone called for help. So, if you use opioids like fentanyl, know who your someone is. Use with them when you can. Have naloxone with you. And make sure your someone is ready to help you if you need it. Just like you would for them.
The savings continue with Buy Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store today. Bonus zone savings include Pepsi brand 12 packs, buy 2 get 2 free. Save $3 on Old Trapper 10-ounce beef jerky. Plus find Blue Diamond bagged almonds for $4.99. Buy Mart brand bath tissue and paper towels are $5 off. Savory Prime chicken jerky for dogs is just $14.99. And find assorted gift cards at $3 off, saving you more when it's needed most. Buy Mart since 1955.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, sad news out of Hollywood as television and film actor Joe Marinelli has died.
His agent says that he had been battling throat and stomach cancer in the recent years. Marinelli's career spanned more than 4 decades.
His early career included roles in the mid-1980s on popular shows including Cagney Lacey, Hill Street Blues, and LA Law. He was a regular on the soap opera Santa Barbara.
More recently, he appeared on The Morning Show, and Marinelli was part of the cast nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award in 2022 for Best Dramatic Ensemble. And now a little closer to home, police say one of the stars of Netflix's hit show Cobra Kai allegedly bit a fellow castmate at a convention right here in Washington.
Puyallup police say Martin Kove and Alicia Roche, known by her stage name Alicia Hannah Kim, were at SummerCon over the weekend, and they say Kove grabbed Hannah Kim and bit her upper arm, nearly drawing blood. Hannah Kim and her husband reported the incident.
According to the report, Kove told officers he was play fighting and thought he was being funny. Hannah Kim told police she didn't want to press charges.
Kove apologized and was escorted out of the event.
Huh.
Yeah.
Different.
That's not play fighting.
Let's keep our hands to ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, in royalty news, officials in the UK have unveiled the winning design for the late Queen Elizabeth II's official memorial.
It'll be in St. James Park, London's oldest royal park, and the memorial will have landscaped gardens, a wind sculpture, and a translucent bridge evoking the tiara that the Queen wore on her wedding day.
A statue of the late monarch will stand beside an existing park entrance. A statue of her husband, Prince Philip, will stand next to the new Prince Philip Gate on the other side of the park.
Designers also plan to include a statue of the couple together.
Ew, it sounds very aesthetically pleasing and pretty.
I know, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I love it.
Very cool.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Big changes are coming to the Benton County Fairgrounds with upgrades designed to draw bigger crowds and bigger events. That and more in your next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon is expanding its Prime services. The company is bringing same-day and next-day delivery service to more rural locations. Prime is adding more than 4,000 small cities and communities around the U.S. by the end of the year. Next, a major copyright ruling. A judge declaring that artificial intelligence developers can train models using published books without the author's consent. The decision sets a precedent that training AI systems on copyrighted works constitutes what's known as fair use. And Google Earth has reached a milestone. The company is marking the program's 20th anniversary by adding historical Street View images. The feature will allow users to see how locations have evolved over time. You know, Google Earth also showed me mountains aren't just funny, they're hilarious. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom? And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
It's wrong for me to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, considering I'm also Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But ever since my first Cinedust covered bite, I can't hide who I am. Must Cinedust.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, and a protein blend to feed muscles up to 7 hours.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
How's the mood today?
It's up. The jackpot's still going up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the full screen here. Yesterday went with the forecast high of 93 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It got a little testy, got up to 95 degrees, but still within the 3-degree threshold. So the jackpot went up to $1,325. Here are the stakes for today. A little bit cooler, going with the forecast high of 90 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 87 to 93, the jackpot's going to hit $1,350. But if that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleynewsnow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now it's on your screen is a live look at Richland. This view also coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. The camera is shaking a little bit, indicative of some of the gusty winds we'll have a bit, well, not only for this morning, but they're especially going to ramp up as we head into the afternoon, and also some light haze on the map, but looks like this is going to drift off towards the east later in the day, and we're not really seeing any big time reductions in air quality. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, but some of us cutting it dangerously close to 70 degrees, 69 for Walla Walla and Hermiston and the Tri-Cities and up towards the Hanford site. 40s in the Cascades and 50s in the Blues. Winds, like I mentioned, already starting to pick up a little bit, especially for the valley, the Kittitas Valley, that is, and the lower Columbia Basin. After 3 p.m., the wind's going to pick up even more. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities, I think most of the haze is going to be out of the sky around lunchtime, but that is around the time that the clouds are going to start to build in. But in spite of the building clouds, we're going to keep it dry for today, and highs still going to be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, so 80s and 90s for lower elevations. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very warm forecast, and also I'll show you what vegetation dryness is looking like, so all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thanks so much. We start this half hour of news with some new information coming in this morning. Big changes coming to the Benton County Fairgrounds.
After more than 75 years as a community staple, the Fairgrounds and McDaniel Arena are set to get a major renovation. It's aimed at preserving their legacy while also meeting the needs of a growing region.
And the remodel will happen in 2 phases. The first already underway. It includes $3 million in parking lot upgrades, and that work should wrap up by this July. It'll improve accessibility, safety, and lighting for fairground visitors.
Phase 2 begins after the fair in August and includes a $12 million overhaul of the McDaniel Arena grandstand. Plans include doubling seating capacity, modernizing the restrooms, and enhancing access to key amenities.
And at 5:32 in local business news, a longtime pizza spot in Kennewick has officially closed for good. Hell-Fired Pizza, formerly known as The Rock Wood-Fired Pizza, has shut its doors after more than a decade of serving the community. The restaurant had operated for 11 years under its original name before rebranding, and they did that about a year and a half ago. Despite efforts to refresh the business and retain staff, owners say financial challenges ultimately forced the closure. The fully equipped restaurant space is now available for lease with details through the landlord.
Now to Kennewick, city leaders from across Washington are gathering this week for the Association of Washington Cities annual conference. The event runs June 24th through the 27th at the Three Rivers Convention. Mayors, council members, and city staff will all gather, and this event focuses on challenges like affordable housing, public safety, infrastructure funding, and even the role of artificial intelligence in local government. This conference gives city officials a chance to share ideas, learn from statewide leaders, and also bring new solutions back to their communities.
It's really important that we are doing everything we can to represent all 281 cities and towns, and that means getting to every corner of the state as often as we can. To be an effective council member or an effective mayor, you need to understand not just what's going on in your community, but what's going on across the state.
During this conference, attendees will also have the opportunity to tour the Hanford site.
534, taking you to Walla Walla now, where county dispatchers want voters to know about Proposition 1. It's a measure that could help save lives, they say. Proposition 1 creates a 0.2% sales and use tax to help fund 911 operations. The money would go to upgrading outdated equipment and possibly building a new dispatch center. Officials say it would ease the financial burden currently placed on local agencies, and that visitors, not just residents, would contribute to the cost.
It's not a tax that is meant to burden our residents. It's a tax that is meant to provide equitable funding and a platform where visitors can also provide funding to the 911 system as well as the residents.
So if passed, the measure is expected to bring in over $3 million a year for emergency communications.
Turning to education news, students in some Yakima, Kittitas, Grant, and Klickitat counties will soon have access to some new resources. Educational Service District 105 has received a 3-year grant to provide expanded mental health services in the schools that it serves. The grant will focus on prevention and early detection of mental health disorders, and some resources mentioned include preventative screening and referrals. Brandon Riddle, Assistant Director of Student Support, says this will help students be able to focus on the classroom instead of struggling on where they can find help.
And that's our ultimate goal, is how to remove barriers for them to be successful in the classroom. We know that math and ELA and all those things are so important, but if kids don't show up ready to learn and in a space where they can learn, whether there's trauma in their past or just things they're dealing with in their life every day, if a kid shows up with food insecurities or dealing with anxiety or depression, they're not going to be the best learner in the classroom.
ESD 105 is working with school districts over the next year to plan out resources and also create individualized plans.
536 now. It's a debate that's been making waves for years. What happens if the lower Snake River dams come down?
Well, Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says WashDOT wants the public to weigh in on what that could mean for our highways, railroads, and freight routes.
WashDOT is giving people a closer look at what could be a major shakeup for transportation in eastern Washington if the lower Snake River dams are removed. The Washington State Department of Transportation is midway through a multi-year study. The big question, how would highways, freight routes, and railroads need to adapt if barges could no longer move goods along the river?
That's exactly what we're here to try to figure out. What we have basically is a model that we've developed that shows how wheat moves into and out of eastern Washington, obviously out of eastern Washington. About 70% of all the wheat that's grown in eastern Washington comes out by barge.
Jim Mayhew, the study lead for the Lower Snake River Dam, says Phase 2 of the study is all about possibilities. From safety and logistics to roads, rails, and real-world costs, it's all about listening.
We were asked to study this issue as a result of the 2023 legislation that came through the legislature. So it's legislatively directed, and that started back in 2023.
These open houses don't have a formal presentation. Instead, folks are encouraged to stop by, look at the scenarios, ask questions, and give feedback. WashDOT is holding 3 events in Colfax, Pasco, and Clarkston, and are drop-in style with transportation planners ready to answer questions and take notes.
We're in the process of creating our scenarios right now. So are there ideas on the table from the public that they can think of that might help us kind of build additional scenarios? As I said, we've only got 2 scenarios we're looking at right now. We plan on running 4 total.
WashDOT will continue gathering input through the end of the year before final recommendations are made in 2026. The goal is to be ready for whatever decision is made about the dams. Reporting in Pasco, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And WashDOT will hold one more open house this week. That one will be in Clarkston.
And if you can't attend that one in person, there's also a virtual open house available online where you can submit your comments through the end of the year. Now, are you looking for a dog with the perfect mix of playfulness and calm? Well, stay tuned, because coming up next, we'll meet Sakti. He's an adorable tug-of-war champion, and he's ready to tug his way right into your heart.
Aww. First, though, live look outside from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky camera at Richland's Columbia Point. You can see the birds are flying around this morning. It is 5:38. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your first alert forecast.
A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
What makes NUU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients.
They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to newuwomensclinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
Expand your access to library services with the Great Rivers Library Partnership. Get a library card at the following participating libraries. Get your Mid-Columbia Libraries card and unlock access to over 350,000 books across 12 locations. High-quality programs like author visits, performers, and special events, and more. Plus, no late fines. Visit a Mid-Columbia Libraries branch near you for more information, or visit midcolumbialibraries.org/reciprocal.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
The 4th of July sale is on now at More Furniture with red, white, and blue savings in every department. Just in time for summer entertaining, family gatherings, and holiday celebrations. During the 4th of July sale, you'll get our very best offer. No money down, subtract the sales tax, and absolutely no interest until July 2026. Plus, you'll get free white glove delivery, and we'll remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. Visit your local More Furniture, where everyone gets more for less.
It's the music event of summer, CMA Fest, with can't miss performances by Blake Shelton, Megan Maroney, Keith Urban, Kelsey Ballerini, and more.
You don't want to miss it.
CMA Fest, presented by SoFi, Thursday on ABC.
In a draft where every pick matters, college basketball's best lead the way. The future starts here. The NBA Draft, a 2-day event starting tonight on ESPN and ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. And it is going to be a little bit windier as opposed to yesterday, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gust around 40 miles per hour. It will be mostly cloudy in the Cascades and partly cloudy in the Kittitas Valley with some light haze for this morning. Also light haze this morning in the Yakima Valley. High is going to be in the mid-80s and some of those peak gusts around 25 miles per hour. In the lower Columbia Basin, peak gusts between 25 to 30 miles per hour, and also some light haze primarily during the morning. High is going to be around 90 degrees, so that puts us at about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Low 80s for the Morrow County foothills, mid to upper 80s for the foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla counties, and then mostly 60s and 70s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Can't rule out a few showers or thunderstorms today in the Blue Mountains, so that's certainly something we're going to be tracking very closely. And to that point, here's today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, for each of these zones and for each of these levels, we've adjusted typical dryness per microclimate. So we're seeing a lot of orange on the map. What does that mean? That means elevated dryness. So we're seeing that in the Cascades in the upper Yakima Basin, in the Kittitas Valley, in the Yakima Valley, lower Columbia Basin, and Blue Foothills. Thankfully, where we have lightning in the forecast for today, we don't have critical or significant dryness because that would obviously be of concern. But with hotter temperatures on the way, I have a feeling this map is going to light up a little bit more. I'll tell you just how hot we could be at the beginning of next week, coming up in a few minutes.
5:44 now, and that music, you know what that means. Operation Best Friend. This is one of our favorite parts of the week.
That's right. And we're introducing you today to a sweet boy named Sakti. So Sakti means power or strength in Hindi, and once you see him in action, you'll know why he's named that.
Sakti is a tug-of-war champion who loves playing with other dogs, is respectful around cats, big plus, and also brings a balanced energy that fits perfectly in most homes.
All right, let's meet him.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
I'm Elizabeth Norman with the Pipple Pen, and this is Sakti. And Sakti is a 1-year-old bully type mix. And he is neutered and vaccinated and microchipped and ready to meet his forever family. Sakti is very happy, playful, friendly, and he is good with other dogs, and he loves people, and he would love a fenced yard. He would love a place to play and lots of space to run. Sakti was found in January outside of city limits, and the finder was able to get him into his car and got him home and searched very hard to try to find his original owners. Wasn't able to get him into a shelter because they were full. So he is available here to find his forever people. Clearly, he is not an aggressive dog. He's very friendly and loving, and that's a testament to the work that the finder has put in with him and the decompression time that he was allowed to have. His finder also worked with him on house manners and basic commands, and Sakti is currently adept at sit and down and is well versed in basic skills, and he would be a great candidate for further training. As a young dog, he's extremely playful. He loves to play with toys, he loves to play outside, and he loves to play with other dogs and run around. If you're interested in making Sakti a member of your family, you can find all of his information on our website, and you can also check out our Facebook page.
You know, I passed by him yesterday when they were filming, and he looked so big, but then he looks like a little puppy in the video. Oh. Yeah, I think he's a puppy. Well, they're all kind of puppies in ways.
Little sweet boy,
yeah,
I know.
So cute.
Did y'all actually get to, I mean, you specifically because you were here, did you get to interact with them?
No, they were filming, so I didn't want to interrupt them.
Oh, I did interrupt them. I was really rude. And Sakti is sweet boy, sweet boy.
Oh, so
yeah.
cute.
I love that.
We'll get adopted quick.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, your morning sprint, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And give me that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino Hotel Sky Cam at Richlands Columbia Point. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your full First Alert forecast. It's 546.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue or Pathfinder.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient, so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Watch live with Kelly and Mark weekdays at 9.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a partly cloudy day. Could have some light haze to start off the morning, but I'm thinking as we head into the afternoon, that's going to thin out. And we could have a few thunderstorms in the Blues or in the Palouse, but elsewhere, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty dry. And highs today still above average, but cooler compared to yesterday. 80s and 90s for lower elevations, 60s in the Cascades, and 60s and 70s up in the Blues. Winds will be more noticeable for today as opposed to yesterday. Now, it could be breezy or windy for this morning, but the peak of the strongest wind gusts is going to be from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. today, and especially windy for places like Lexington, Hefner, and Ellensburg. Across the rest of the map, it's just going to be breezy. Then for tonight, a few showers left over in the Blues, also maybe additional showers in the Cascades, but in between our mountain ranges, it's going to be dry, and skies will still in general be partly cloudy. Overnight lows not going to be as mild as this morning, but still pretty mild out there. 50s for lower elevations, 40s for the Cascades, 40s and 50s for the Blues. For tomorrow, same day, could start off breezy or windy, but the cream of the crop when it comes to the strongest winds is going to be from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. And once again, the windiest conditions going to be in the Morrow County foothills, Lexington, Hefner, and in the Kittitas Valley. There in Ellensburg. Elsewhere, it's just going to be breezy. And the winds picking up because of a cold front that'll drop our high temperatures down to more seasonal stuff. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be the transitional day, and then near triple digits in the Tri-Cities for Monday and Tuesday. That's about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Now look, this is still 6 to 7 days out. This is subject to change, but early indications are that this could be heat wave number 2 of 2025. And unfortunately, not only is our vegetation going to get stressed out by the fact it's going to be so hot outside, but we're just not going to have much rainfall in the forecast at all. These little shower chances are mainly up in the Cascades and Blues through Friday. Then after that, even those chances are going to be off the map. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, cooling off for Thursday through Saturday, the transitional day on Sunday, then highs near 100 for Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, 80s through Saturday, low 90s on Sunday, then flirting with triple digits to start next week. In Ellensburg, windy through Friday, calmer winds but hotter highs for Saturday through Tuesday, especially on Monday. Then in Hermiston, highs in the mid to upper 80s through Saturday, mid 90s on Sunday, then around 100 for Monday and Tuesday. Finally, for Walla Walla, certainly very warm through Saturday, hot for Sunday, then into heat wave territory at the start of next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:52. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
And here are the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. The Barstow Road fire nearly out. Crews say it is 97% contained. The wildfire sparked Saturday near Prescott. It's burned over 1,500 acres. Firefighters finished building containment lines just yesterday, and now mop-up work is focused on the remaining hot spots. State crews say they will officially turn the scene back over to Walla Walla County and return home this morning.
And a shoplifting case out of Kennewick led police to find more than $2,000 worth of stolen goods from multiple local stores, including Target. Officers say 2 people, Seth Walliser and Jessica Usmanova, were caught at a motel with the stolen items, things such as e-bikes and vacuums. Both have been booked into the Bend County Jail.
And if you spotted people shooting birds near Horn Rapids this week, it was legal research. Deputies responded to the calls about people firing at waterfowl in the Yakima River. Turns out they were Yakima Nation biologists working under a federal permit to harvest specific birds like pelicans to help protect local salmon populations.
And after more than a decade, Hellfired Pizza in Kennewick has closed. The spot was once known as the Rockwood Fired Pizza before it rebranded. The owner says financial challenges led to the shutdown despite its efforts to rebuild and retain staff, and we're told the restaurant space is now available for lease.
And the Benton County Fairgrounds are getting a major upgrade. A multi-million-dollar remodel is underway, starting with a new parking lot and lighting, followed by $12 million in arena upgrades after this year's fair. The goal is to double seating capacity, improve accessibility, and preserve the site's historic character.
International headlines this morning. President Trump is attempting to hold together a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And this is despite new reports suggesting the weekend U.S. strike on Iran's nuclear facilities fell short of its goals. Speaking before a NATO summit, Trump criticized both nations and urged Israel to calm down, also saying he doesn't support regime change in Iran. Meanwhile, Israel has reportedly lifted its restrictions on schools and businesses. Also, Ben Gurion Airport is back to full operation.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. Chick-fil-A is on top again in customer satisfaction. It's the 11th year in a row for the Georgia-based chain to rank first among quick service restaurants. Chick-fil-A came out on top with a score of 83 out of 100. Panda Express and Starbucks tied for second with 80 points each.
In your health headlines, a new study shows deaths from heart attacks and overall heart disease in the U.S. have dropped significantly over the past 50 years. It indicates overall heart disease death rates dropped 66% in U.S. adults aged 25 and older, and deaths from heart attacks dropped by nearly 90%.
In your sports news this morning, Seattle Mariners went head-to-head against the Minnesota Twins. It was a close game throughout the night, but in the end, Mariners were able to edge a win by just one run. Final score 6-5. Twins will have a shot at redemption this afternoon before Mariners set their sights on the Texas Rangers this Friday.
Trending this morning, well, here's something you don't expect on a fire call.
Milwaukee firefighters made quite the unusual discovery during a weekend house fire.
No people were inside at the time, but they did find a small alligator just hanging out in the basement.
So fire crews safely rescued the gator and turned it over to animal control.
No word yet on how it ended up there or even who it belongs to.
But one thing is for...
Oh,
man.
Oh,
he's kind of cute. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, you guys.
But one thing is for certain, though. You never know what's in someone's basement.
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean...
Eerie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd be freaking out if I saw that. I think any of us would, but... It's cute. It's little from far away.
They probably set their house on fire because there was an alligator in their basement.
I mean, you got to throw the whole house away at that point.
We're done here.
Yeah.
We can no longer live here.
Yeah, if it's not paying rent, no.
Right.
If they could just stay that size, like a little teacup alligator, I think I would like that as a pet, you know?
It would be cute. Yeah, you know, it gets rid of the bugs in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They still
right,
have
so no alligators.
Not that different from an iguana. It's a reptile.
Right.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Until you lose a finger.
True.
So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up at 6, Walla Walla dispatchers are sounding the alarm for primary voters. And coming up, we'll have an in-depth look at what is at stake with Proposition 1.
And it's been a pretty hot couple of days. Are we seeing more of that, Josh?
Well, it's going to get a little cooler over the next few days, but then the heat is going to be way on for the beginning of next week. I'll tell you just how hot coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.